important panel on the future of manufacturing in the age of Industry 5.0. This will be led by 4 important panelists, stalwarts in their own domain. I'm going to call upon moderator of the panel on future of manufacturing in the age of Industry 5.0, Hemant Kanakagiri, Senior Manager, Technology Consulting, EY. He contributes to EY initiatives in digital manufacturing, having engagements in strategic assessments, consulting, and technology implementation areas. Rudra Sribashyam, Chief Manufacturing Operations, Daifuku Logistics. Rudra specializes in smart factory operations, automation, and supply chain optimization. He has extensive experience in integrating new technologies with legacy systems. Next, I would like to call upon Shashank Paitankar, IT&D Product Director, Manufacturing Reckitt. Shashank oversees digital manufacturing technologies at Reckitt, managing a global portfolio of digital initiatives. I'd like to call upon Joginder Tanikala, CEO, T-Works. I would like to call upon KK Maheshwari sir and Mohan Raidu Garu to provide the welcome plans to the guests.
Thank you very much. And we just have heard the session from Anirban, how AI ML can drive optimization, how it can transform the regular operations, which other technologies are not able to do. We are truly in the age of AI, and we are talking about Gen AI and Industry 5.0. Consider just 3 years ago, we haven't even, ChatGPT haven't even existed. And we are already talking about how to incorporate that, how we are disrupting ourselves with these new technologies. With that, we have 3 distinguished panelists here, all 3 coming from 3 different areas. One, Rudra, coming from the business point of view, and Shashank is from the IT, and Joginder is from the startup ecosystem. So let's learn from them on what are the best practices they are following and how to drive ourselves into the future in this transformation time. Rudra, the first question to you. We are now talking about transforming ourselves with the digital technology. So what are the key capabilities that you do see are essential for this, for the organizations in your own, and what are the strategies that you are adopting to drive them?
What I see is a couple of points which come to my mind at this point of stage. One is critical thinking, problem solving capabilities within the organization. Next is to adopt technologies which are coming from time to time. It could be machine learning, it could be IoT, it could be AML now, or it could be cobots or robots, what you call them. So that how do you increase your productivity or quality? Resilience within the organization. Put in some sustainability processes within the organization so that some processes may not be needed. So how do you reduce waste in those processes? And finally, a cultural change within the organization so that your teams always look at innovation and work towards continuous improvement, because continuous improvement is needed. There's no end to it.
Thank you. I think that's a very structured approach. You are talking about while infusing the technology, you are also talking about cultural change, the critical thinking capabilities of the individual, and while trying to continuously improve the processes in place. Thank you. And the second question to you, Shashank, from the IT point of view, you are talking about a global scale here. So what are the challenges or what are the strategies you see are working to scale the operations across the globe and then also to standardize them? So from your point of view, we would like to understand.
Yeah, I think great question. So when you're kind of picking up a technology, trying to scale, I think try to look at it from a business context. So one of the first thing that I had seen working where I work with Reckitt is having a bold vision. So at least a vision of a future, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, what the future should look like. The vision could be maybe you want to run a dark factory. And I think as a Rudra also kind of very well articulated in a structured approach. You need to have some of the business champions working with you on a global scale. So who take the ownership of what are the key problem statement to solve for that, to achieve that vision. And then having a structured investments that goes into behind, building a teams. in a central place where you have the capability to understand technology, deploy it at a pace. So having that kind of a very, very structured approach, a very systemic investment that goes behind in building all that roadmap. Once you are there, you can execute at a pace and a scale that you would want to get to.
Thank you, Shashank. I think your point is very valid. While we are adopting the technology, knowing where the technology can be incorporated, and from the business point of view, what is the priority, and channelizing the investments into that area. I think that's a very valid point that you brought in. And coming to Jogendra, now we are talking about people from large corporations giving us the insights here, and you are running the India's largest innovation hub. So how you are driving the transformation for the startups, and what are the strategies that are working for you to incubate them? So if you can give us point of view on how TWorks is enabling this.
Thank you. Thank you, Hemant. And first of all, it's my pleasure and privilege to be here with this distinguished audience. So as you know, TWorks is India's largest prototyping center, and now we're also working to become a manufacturing knowledge partner. So the essential way in which we support the startups is by providing them acceleration facilities to take their product from idea to conception, from conception till reality. And also another way we are supporting the startups is to take the products from TRL 5 to TRL level 9. So this is how we are supporting the startups.
And now we have understood the aspirations, or from your perspective, how to drive the transformation. But no transformation journey comes without challenges. So Rudra, I want to understand from your perspective on what are the key challenges you are facing in adopting these digital technologies, especially in a standard legacy environment, when you are trying to modernize?
I think as Jayesh Ranjan was saying, these legacy systems, many of these, say, CNC controlled machines, etc., they are aged 10 years plus or 15 years plus. So when you want to put in these kind of systems, the biggest challenge is how do you get this data out of that equipment or that legacy system. We don't have knowledge of the program, how it is, and most of the legacy companies don't even have the network. The systems are not connected on the network. So the data is all saturated across the company. So you have to first get the data to one place or one location, then understand the data, because each machine has got its own controller. Some use Fanuc, some use Mitsubishi, and so on and so forth. So how do we integrate all this together? And some of this data may be difficult to understand or use. So how do we use that? Once we get an understanding of all that, then we can look at putting processes or systems within the organization by using AI tools and so on and so forth. How do we effectively work towards building that system? Apart from that, we also need to have skill set within the organization to understand those legacy systems, plus also how AI is going to help them in putting, maybe it could be power, or it could be quality, or it could be efficiency of the machine, and so on and so forth. How will they do it? So skill set development within the organization also is very critical when we are doing this kind of activity.
Thank you very much. So what I understand is, while you are keeping your sights firmly on your vision, you are also looking at seeing what are the gaps, which machines have to be connected, and then how to bring the data, how to standardize that, and then how to bring the insights out of it. And then all these, we have to finally enable the individual or the operator once again to take right decisions. Thank you very much. And from Shashank, I want to understand your point of view. You are running a lean portfolio and you are trying to scale these initiatives across the globe. So how are you balancing the innovation or agility or the business value while channelizing your investments or prioritizing?
I think this is also another great question. Essentially what you are asking, how do you invest? Where do you do the money first? So innovation has a special place. But the way you position your innovation, if you say that I need to solve this problem in next 2 months, and this is it, this has to be cheaper, that's not really innovation. Innovation is more around putting together a long-term view of what problem you will be solving at a scale. Give yourself some sort of a space. If you're looking for the immediate fix, maybe there is an immediate vendor who can fix things for you. Now when you're prioritizing, all the sessions so far we are seeing that AI, ML, data, that means your companies need to invest in foundations. your investments into your networking, connectivity, putting together money in a cybersecurity program, so that there is a sense of foundations being built, and then you kind of start building on top. So essentially, this exercise is predominantly about making conscious choices for your business to be future ready. What is the amount of money you're willing to put in which factory for building those foundations, and then how you kind of scale digital to kind of start returning the money back into the business. So it's a very systematic approach of balancing between the innovation for long term, but also kind of working tightly on the foundations and some of the digital capability.
Thank you, Shashank. That's a well thought out answer. So you are talking about short-term to long-term vision. While that vision is there, you are also looking at the foundational capabilities that can achieve that vision, or the fundamental backbone, IT backbone that is required, and then channelize where it is going to give maximum ROI. Thank you very much. And Joginder, I want to understand again from the startup point of view, what are the key challenges that they are facing, and how you are trying to overcome that with the help of your ecosystem in TWorks.
Yeah, thank you. So here I would like to just speak apart from being the CEO of TWorks, as an earlier startup founder. So the biggest problem product startups face, especially physical product startups face, is low volume manufacturing. So in the sense that, if I want to make a design and then take it to the market, so the best way to test it out is to actually have it in my hand, but then manufacturers are not willing to support us because we cannot give you any guarantee of high volumes. In fact, I remember earlier as a startup, I used to go to manufacturers and give presentations on why they should take my money to do the manufacturing. But that is what we are trying to change with TWorks. So the idea is that anybody should be able to walk in, and then we can support you to make at least a prototype, a physical prototype, so that you can see that. And then you know how the look and feel is, and maybe even have your users test it. And then we will connect you to manufacturers, because there are so many MSMEs today, especially even second generation and third generation, who have a complete capital setup available with operational facilities, but they don't have products to make. And this is very important considering our Make in India initiatives, and that we have to go towards that. So this is where TWorks can help, and we have started to do that already. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I got what you are trying to say, the typical challenge of scaling up for a startup, and you are trying to provide them the guidance and the support from the organization itself. So here we understood how you are driving the strategy or setting the vision, and then the challenges you are facing. But as leaders, you have your own journey of successes and in your past. So Rudra, I want you to share any specific success stories any specific use cases where your initiatives have given results in improving the productivity or efficiencies in your operations.
In Taikuku, where I come from, we have some initiatives already taken and some are ongoing. So I'll talk about these two. Software companies have timesheet, right? So, but in manufacturing company, we have introduced timesheet, where we have some core activities and non-core activities. So we always look at how we can measure this and how a non-core activity of our colleague can be turned into a core activity. So this is measured, and then we keep driving that. Second interesting aspect, what we have done is we have standard time for manufacturing or assembly. Then we start now measuring every time an assembly happens or a manufacturing a part happens, so that we see how we can improvise it. It's a continuous improvement. Today, if I've taken 1 hour for a part, tomorrow I can take 55 minutes, I can take 40 minutes, and so on and so forth. So we drive towards continuous improvement. So that's the second initiative we have taken. Third initiative we have taken is a load chart. Many companies don't do this, I think, where our complete machine shop has got a load chart, which means I know my machine capacity. I can produce, say, 5,000 kgs in laser cutting machine, and this month how much I have load. I have only 200 kgs or 400 kgs or 500 kgs. So for the entire year I have a load chart. So now I know with this load chart whether I have to reschedule my schedule such that I produce faster, so that my machine is fully utilized, or in some cases I need to give overtime to my colleagues to work. Third is to look at how I can talk to my end customer. Can I shift my delivery so that my load chart is balanced? That is one other aspect we are doing. Lastly, we are doing cost management, where two aspects we are looking at. Constant improving our cost. So one is the BOM cost, where the design team is always looking at how we can look at new products or new components where the cost can come down. Second is once the BOM is out, the sourcing team looks at how they can source better, or the manufacturing team or assembly team looks like how I can manufacture faster or more cost effective, so that the cost comes down within the company. The last initiative we have just started, we have done this software, we have done the prototype testing. It is totally barcode concept, where from the start to the end, we are going to implement a barcode. We get the purchase orders, it is barcoded, that is our supplier or a vendor, or it could be in-house manufacturing. Once the barcode is done, when the part comes into our factory, so we check and we know this part has come into our factory already. Now this part has to be stored, so we put it in a pallet. The pallet also is barcoded, and this pallet or bin goes, we have an ASRS system with us, so it goes and stores in the ASRS system. And also some parts cannot go into an ASRS system, so we store them on the shop floor. That location or area is also barcoded, so at any given point of time I know where the part is lying within the shop floor. Have a kitting system. Once all parts are within the company for that particular assembly, so it automatically kickstarts, the ERP kickstarts saying that it's now all parts are there. There's a kitting team which collects all these parts. So there are trolleys which have again got barcode. So once he picks up all the components, he places them, everything, and then he scans the barcode to say to the production team that now everything is there, you can start assembly. So there's a cell concept again. Each cell has got two people, one high skill, one low skill person, so that the low skill person also can go next level later on. So it comes to the cell. So the operator also has got a tag like this with a barcode. When he starts, he scans it. When he takes a break, he scans it. So you can tag his time totally. And finally, once they assemble it, it gets shipped out to our customer. So our product is having a barcode. This helps in two things. One is we know the track and trace of the ecosystem. We can also improve productivity, quality, any challenges that we face. Next thing is when it is at our customer place, we know with this barcode, I need to replace this particular part. So I can preempt my customer, please purchase this part. Or in case a product goes down, I can track and trace where in the life cycle what went wrong, so that we can improve the system. This is what we have done till now. Thank you.
Thank you, Rudra. I think that's very sensible. To summarize, I can appreciate how you are sticking to your fundamentals, measuring everything, tracking everything, and setting targets for yourselves and trying to beat them through continuous improvement, so that you can produce faster, you can produce more, and how you can produce cheaper. So you are focusing on all this. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Shashank, I want to request you to share some of the examples where AI and the latest new gen technologies like Gen AI, these are being adopted to drive efficiencies across the globe. So if you can share any specific use cases where these have given significant improvement.
Yes. So I think the previous session was pretty insightful by Anirban. He presented two use cases of how AI is driving the process improvement, or rather how the difficult process problems are solved. So that's a one category. So there we had done a lot of experimentations looking at improving the products in R&D phase itself, and driving limited changes in manufacturing, because by the time your product come in a manufacturing, you have very limited scope to play, process frozen, product registered, etc. So we have taken very pragmatic approach where we invest. Second area probably where we have been very successful in a manufacturing space is improving the service level. What does that really mean is that if you have a plan to produce X amount and deliver at a particular time, are you able to release? And can you cut some of that time in a release so your working inventory reduces, the cost of holding inventory reduces? You have been successful in that area. And third type of improvements is purely focusing on the operational efficiencies. Are you running your machine efficiently? Is the maintenance, are you overdoing it, underdoing it? Building insights in those areas and acting in a right way. So broadly, these process improvement, very focused effort, the service level, very very conscious because entire business depends on that, and then also being very conscious on the operating efficiencies where you are consistently reducing cost in manufacturing.
Thank you. So you are leveraging the technology to, which is not humanly possible, but you are leveraging artificial intelligence to understand what is causing the downtime or how to improve the downtime and how to make sure that it is working or we are producing the right work. Thank you. And Joginder, here I want to understand your some of your success stories where you are able to establish collaboration between startups and the big corporations and enable them to get benefit with this kind of synergistic collaboration.
Thank you, Hemant. But first, I just want to thank Rudraji. So we are actually starting a new course for prototyping specialists, where the idea is to expose because many of the students, they don't have shop floor experience. They are all going into the IT services, but things have to change. So your idea of having a cell where there's a high-skilled worker and low-skilled worker, so that the low-skilled worker also reaches that high-skilled stage, is a very good idea. So I will be connecting with you offline and seeing how to implement that. And I also appreciate what Shashankji told about using AI for downtime and how to reduce the downtime. So I think we have to discuss this also. Thanks a lot. Now coming back to your question, Hemantji. So what one of the success stories we have is that recently, our cousins T-Hub, so they have the corporate innovation programs where they collaborate with corporates like Volkswagen. So recently they had come and within 20 days, we have arranged our startups to take their product from prototype to at least TRL 7, TRL 8, and then put it in the car and display it to the corporate innovator. So this is how we can help the corporates actually, to help the startups come up to scratch to meet their expectations. Thank you.
So I can understand that a startup can come with an idea and you can enable them to do rapid prototyping and impress the organization, big organization that this startup can truly deliver. So you are enabling them.
Exactly, yes.
Thank you very much. And with that, we have come to an end of the insightful session from three distinguished gentlemen here, leaders in their own state. And the key takeaway I can see is these problems, we have to first adopt the technology, get infused with all the digitization. At the same time, we cannot solve all the problems all alone. We have to collaborate. So we have to improve ourselves. At the same time, we have to come together to solve the challenges together. So with that, I thank everyone for an insightful session. Let us continue the conversations.
I just want to say that Hemantji has put in a lot of effort for the questions. In fact, we were all in touch and he has actually made a very nice sequential flow. So I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for all the nice words.
A big round of applause to our panelists and this team moderator, Joginder, Hemant Kanakagiri, Joginder Tanikala, Rudra Sribashyam and Shashank Paidankar. To felicitate, I would like to invite our President Suresh Singhal sir, Ravi Kumar sir, KK Maheshwari Garu and also Mohan Raidu. It's a true honor and your expertise in human-machine collaboration, digital transformation at scale and fostering thriving manufacturing startup ecosystem provided very invaluable perspectives to our audience, drive the change and overcome in many of the integration challenges and build a robust innovation ecosystem in India. And your contributions and experiences truly shed the light in the opportunities and challenges shaping the future of manufacturing.